Holy fuck, was Brightburn good.
I'm the bad guy.
Ever since the trailer came out for this movie, I've been excited for it. And now that I've seen the actual movie, holy shit, was it amazing. I thought it was a really well written movie. Granted, the parents were kind of stupid the entire film, but I feel like given their situation, it was almost more understandable. I feel like the movie itself wasn't meant to be like some cinematic masterpiece. It was just meant to be entertaining, and it was certainly that. The story follows Brandon and his realization of his powers and realizing just how much he can do to the world as it is. I think my biggest issue with the film was the fact that Brendan's turn to darkness was so quick. He, at one point, was just a happy little 11-year-old. Oh boy, look at me, a little kid. And then the second he turned 12, he just decided, I'm gonna start killing people. Now, you can argue that was because of the ship inspired him to do it or whatever, but the point is, they had took no time to build these characters. They just kind of established the scene very basically and then said, oh, hey, by the way, Brandon's being controlled by a giant fucking ship that makes him want to kill people. Now, I'm not saying that was bad per se. I'm saying that despite the issues in this story, it still seems so much more realistic than the story of Superman ever was. He's an alien from another planet. And in this movie, it highlights that a lot better. It kind of shows, like, hey, he's not really normal. He never was. He wasn't raised by saints like he was in Superman. The people he was raised by are just normal, everyday people. They didn't have any special skills. They didn't have anything, any abilities or anything. All they had was the fact that they really wanted a kid. That was about it. Now, the acting in this movie I thought was really well done. The kid who played Brandon was incredible. We saw the guy who played Beaver from Breaking Bad come back. He did great as the uncle of Brandon. Let's see, Kyle was actually Roy from The Office, and I thought he was really good in the role, and I thought everyone did really well, but it suffered from a lack of good writing. All of the writing in this movie was so fucking awful. The story felt like it moved either a million miles an hour or literally not at all. And near the end of the film, there's this weird point where the father just kind of decides out of the blue, I'm gonna shoot my child because he's not human. I know I raised him from birth, and I should probably be having a little bit of a crisis over this, but I don't really care because he's not my real son. Now, I know what you're probably thinking, Hunter, it sounds like you hated this movie, but I didn't. The thing that I didn't like about it was the writing itself. But looking past the writing, it was a beautifully shot film. I thought all of the cinematography in the movie, it looked amazing. It was really a beautiful film to look at. And I also thought it was a really entertaining movie, which is all I expected going into it. When I hear about a horror superhero movie, I'm not going to expect it to be some like blockbuster film that's going to blow my mind or it's going to be the number one in the Oscars or something. I could care less about awards. I just wanted to watch this for the entertainment value of it, and by God, did it have a lot of that. The acting was well done for the writing. I thought the story was good, but the dialogue wasn't. That was my only issue. Let me get that very straight. The dialogue was god awful, but the story was entertaining. It was interesting. It kept you involved the whole time. Now, another thing I really loved about this movie was the fact that it didn't end like how most superhero movies do. It ended on a bad end. It ended with the supervillain being the victor. He ends this movie being on top of the world. He brings down the apocalypse. We see in the after credits scene how he just kind of takes down the world, or, well, I guess it's a during credit scene, but same exact thing. He's kind of causing the apocalypse, and we see that there's also these other superhumans that are doing the same thing that he is. Of course, this is a play on the Justice League. I thought that was quite funny. I laughed at it. I had a little giggle, but I think that this movie, despite its lack of good dialogue, was a really bold attempt at something that's never been seen before in cinema. I thought it was a really adventurous take on the story. I thought it was really entertaining to watch. I thought it was one of my favorite movies of 2019, and I still think that. And with that being said, I am going to give it a 4 out of 5 salmons. A pretty good score. I'd say that's pretty good. Because this was a pretty good movie. It wasn't anything extraordinary. It wasn't bad by any means. I thought it was just okay. It was a good way to pass the time, which is, in essence, what some movies are and what a lot of movies should strive to be. I thought this was a good movie. I thought it was definitely worth the watch. And if you guys get the chance, I think you should check it out. Alright, well, that'll end today's episode, everybody. I'm sorry this one's a little bit shorter. I have a big plan for this Friday's movie, and I hope y'all are excited, as I am, and I can't wait to show it to you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. Thank you so much for watching. Like, comment, subscribe, tell me what you liked, tell me what you didn't like about the video, and I will see you in the next one.